Hello everyone, this is Jason for Primetime Aquatics, and in this video we are going to be reviewing one of my favorite hang on the back filters, so stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We do a lot of videos just like this, product reviews, species profiles, videos on filtration and water chemistry. With over 65 fish tanks in our fish room, we've always got something going on. So nano tanks are becoming more popular, those fish tanks that are 10 gallons or below, and sometimes it can actually be a challenge figuring out what type of filter to use. We don't want to filter with too much flow, and therefore we want to make sure that we're making the right decision. One of the filters that we've been using for over a year now is this. This is the Aquatop Forza 5 to 15. It is a fantastic filter. I'm going to unbox it for you. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'll show you what it looks like on a tank, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the cool features that it has. Before we get into the unboxing, I do want to say thank you to Flip Aquatics. Rob, thank you so much for sending us these filters. Like I said, we've been using them for a while. If you need anything related to shrimp or nano tanks or nano species, definitely check out flipaquatics.com. I will put their link in the description below. All right, so this is the box. It is a relatively small box because it is a relatively small filter. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to open this thing up. Here, inside, we have a few things going on. One, we've got the directions. We're really not going to need those. It's pretty simple to put together, so we're going to cast those aside. Also in the box, we have the filter itself. And so this is the compartment. Again, it's small. This is really designed for a tank that's roughly, in my opinion, about 10 gallons or below. So it's a nice, small, hang-on-the-back filter. Also in the box, we have the intake. And the intake, what's interesting is some of the ones that they are selling now, depending on where you get it from, they will actually sell the pre-filter sponge along with that, which really makes a big difference, especially if you're going to be breeding fish or shrimp. So all you have to do, we're going to put the box aside now, is here we've got the filter itself. You can see here we also have the intake, so this part just slips right on here. This part goes here. And you're pretty much ready to go. Now inside, it's kind of interesting as well. Let's go ahead and take that off. So what comes with it are two things. One, you've got this little special cartridge. Now it does come with carbon. Generally speaking, I've mentioned this a number of times, I don't like to use carbon in my filters just because most of my tanks are planted and I don't want the carbon potentially pulling out any of the nutrients. The other thing that's going to come with the filter is this piece of sponge here, which is pretty convenient. One of the things that I will do is I will often buy my own filter floss, cut that out, and use that in place of this, and that's what we've been doing with the filters that we have up and running in our fish room right now. If you wanted to, you could certainly use this and then cut this part out, this filter floss part out, keep the plastic piece, and then just put a piece of filter floss right on there. In fact, I've got a video on that particular thing, and I will put that in the upper right hand corner, as well as in the description below if you want to check that out. All right, so let's talk about some of the features of this filter. The first thing is it's small, and that's nice because if you've got a small nano tank, the last thing you want is a big, bulky, hang-on-the-back filter on the back of it. So this is a nice, small package. The other thing that I really like is this right here, and that is the dial that adjusts the amount of water that comes through the filter. So a couple reasons why we like this. One, if you've got a smaller tank, like let's say a 2.5 gallon, you've got a betta in there with nice long fins, the last thing you want is for the filter to be blowing the betta around. This will adjust the water flow almost to a trickle, which is super convenient, but when it is on full, when it's open to its full capacity, it will easily filter a 10-gallon tank, and in fact, that's primarily what we've been using this filter for. Is we have a couple of 10-gallon guppy breeding tanks, and this has been handling the load with a pre-filter with absolutely no problem. I also really like the ease of being able just to switch out the media super fast. When the stuff gets dirty, you just take it out. Again, even if you use your own filter floss, super convenient, as well as the sponge that comes with it internally. So that is pretty cool. I think one of the things that we are asked most about when we are reviewing filters is how much noise does it make. I have found, and we've had about 3 of these things up and running now for over a year, they make virtually zero noise. So as long as they are being maintained properly and they're not all clogged up, we really don't hear them, and I think that is a huge advantage of a filter like this. Perhaps another big advantage for this filter right now, as of the making of this video, they can be found on flipaquatics.com for about $15. So for $15, you're going to get a filter that seems to be relatively quiet, runs really well, has an adjustable flow. I don't think you can ask for much more, and it seems to be very, very reliable, which is pretty cool. So for $15 on flipaquatics.com, you really can't go wrong, because a lot of the other filters that you would normally find out on the market, often they're just too big for such a small tank. At this point, after using them for over a year, I really can't find a whole lot that I don't like about them. All right, everyone, I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.